Hi, Brian.
Welcome, everyone, to another month of our Money Mastery Workshop. I'm so grateful that you're taking time out of your busy schedules and lives to be here, to participate, and to learn and to grow. That's the goal of our Be Money Strong coaching programs, is to help you to do just that, to be money strong. And this is a unique opportunity with our community to come together and interact with other people. And so it's good to hear other people's experiences, their successes, their wins. The point of coming is not to share all of our dirty laundry and all the all the problems that people face. So we all are doing it. All of us are in a different stage of that journey, but it's to learn, grow, and become better. We'll see later tonight one of the quotes: "Iron sharpens iron." So I'm glad that you're here to become sharpened and to sharpen others. So thank you for being here. For those that may not have met me directly, or those listening to the recording, may be coming for the first time, my name is Brian Halverson. I am the founder of our organization, Be Money Strong. I've been in the financial industry for the last more than 2 decades, 24 years, helping people with their money and finances and mindset and navigating this crazy world and the money that it takes to navigate it with. I always say money is not the center of our life, but it does influence everything in our life. And so we're here to learn how to master it and improve. I was associated with Dave Ramsey's organization for a number of years. Taught Financial Peace University 16 times over a 8-year period. It's a great program, helping people to learn how to manage their money. Then I became one of his top Ramsey preferred coaches, and I got so busy that I had to bring in some additional coaches. And so there's my team of other coaches that we get to help individuals and families at all walks of life and stages of the journey to help and make progress. There are a lot of resources that are available to you on our website. That's bemoneystrong.com. You can connect with us through YouTube as well. So that there's if you have friends or people that family that need help with their finances and managing their money and changing their mindset. I was just telling my last client, mine broke is a mindset. Right? I might be temporarily low on funds, but I'm not broke because I don't have a broke mindset. People with a lot of money in their account can still have a broke mindset. I can have low funds in my account and still be a millionaire mindset because I know how to manage myself and my approach to things. So that we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. So lots of free resources on our website at bemoneystrong.com. I'll always share this again, setting the stage and level setting us all. We want to experience that ultimate peace, financial peace and prosperity. So how do we build it is through the pillars of awareness, vision, and execution, all built on the foundation of accountability. So we, in these sessions and in your own personal sessions or working through your own journey, watch where you are strong, watch where you might need some additional reinforcement in those areas. That awareness is key. If I don't know where my money is going, I don't know where the money leaks are, I can't fix them. The vision is I got to know where I want to go. Where am I heading for? Then execution is putting pen to paper and making it happen, not just talking the talk, but walking the walk and executing on our goals so that we can achieve what we want. Again, all built on the foundation of accountability. I know usually in our sessions, I share the baby steps, Dave Ramsey's baby steps, and I've been sharing more and more with families a little my own version of it, a few enhanced steps because I in my coaching, and like I said, been doing this for so long, I've noticed patterns and the common pitfalls that people fall into, and so I've added a few things into my own into these steps. You'll recognize a lot of things that overlap with Dave's and some things that are a little different. And so it's about in one of our sessions earlier this year, we talked about finding your own order of operations. So this is mine, and this is what I coach to. So some people say, I'm going to move this steps, or I want this one here and move that down, right? That's where you can personalize it. But this is the what I found to be the most successful. Step one is you got to live and create and live a budget. Some families do well at creating, they struggle with living. They're good at planning, but they struggle with the debriefing and the reviewing and seeing how well did it go last month. Step two, optimizing your bank accounts, making sure that they are working for you, so we're not fighting our money. We don't want the logistics to get in our way. Step three, manage those risks. That's a foundational principle. We've got to look at insurance and diversification and wills and trusts and beneficiaries and identity theft protection, the dangerous world out there. So we've got to be protected. And I've helped too many families who were not protected. And then we were trying to pick up the pieces and minimize the outcomes and the consequences, especially with beneficiaries and life um, things happen, and we've got to make sure that people are ready and that their bank accounts are prepared. And if you are prepared, you shall not fear, as the Bible tells us. And so we got to make sure that we are ready. Step four is to save for that highest deductible amount. It might be that $1,000 in the emergency fund that Dave talks about. It might be a little bit higher depending on what your deductible is. If your home deductible is a little higher, or car or whatever, the health deductible, maybe I need to save a little bit more just to make sure that I'm covered if something disastrous happens. Then I get to step five. I want to pay off all of my non-mortgage debt, student loans, family loans, personal loans, credit cards, payday loans, you name it, even investment properties. Some of my clients will have an investment property and, well, it's mortgage, right? Well, it's not your mortgage, it's a rental property. And when push comes to shove, you'll ditch the rental property before you ditch your own house. So we want to make sure all debt is off your back. You have that room to breathe. Then step six is we want to save 25% of our income into a high yield savings account. That's how we achieve the 3 to 6 months of expenses. If you save, do the math. If we save 25% of what we earn over a year, 25% of the year is 3 months. So that'll give me, if you're struggling and that's the step you're on, and I want to get to my 3 to 6 months of expenses, we'll start with three. Get there first. How do I do that? Save 25%. If you want to get, that's a year. It'll take you a year to get there. Well, if I can't save 25%, obviously it's going to take you a little longer than a year to get to your to that 3 month savings. If you save more and I can save 50%, then I'll get there in 6 months. So it's just about you decide the pace. Your foot is the one on the gas pedal. The more you floor it, the faster you get to where you want to go. Step seven, investing 15%, at least 15% of your income into retirement through 401ks or Roth IRAs and HSAs and whatever your version is, TSPs and all the different acronyms that they offer at work or that you're eligible for to put your money away for retirement. And that's before step eight of saving and helping for your kids pay for college. It's a guarantee that you will retire. It's not a guarantee that they will go to college. So I'm a big fan of education, but you got to save for yourself first before you save for the next generation. And then step nine, we want to pay off your house and ultimately be that step 10, be a good steward and live your dream life, whatever that means for you. And for some, that's touring the world. And for some people, it's just sitting. I love the one client. She's one of my international clients in the Czech Republic. She says, I just want to sit in my garden and play with my grandson. Hey, that sounds like a dream life. I have a millionaire client down in Florida. He's still working. And I asked, what do you want to do for your retirement? He has over $1 million in retirement saved up, and he's still got more years to work. His dream is to be the crossing guard. Like, I love that story. You're gonna be the richest crossing guard. Nobody will know. Here, I talk about the millionaire next door. So it's whatever you decide your dream life is. That's what we want to get to. Again, that's that living, that being a good steward and living your dream life. Before I move on, I want to make sure this is interactive. This is a workshop, not a lecture. So questions, concerns, rebuttals. When you see this, what comes to mind? What questions? Let's make this interactive. And you can come off of mute and we can talk, or you can put it in the chat. I'll do my best to watch the chats as well as the microphones, and let's make this a good interactive discussion. So any questions or thoughts around these 10 steps? Okay, seem pretty easy, right? No, it's not complicated, but what makes it hard is the human nature, the behavior, the things that I have to work with myself on this, or I have to work with a partner or spouse to doing this. So it's never easy. Every month is different too. Every month is something new gets thrown at us. So we'll do our best. All right. And I used a lot of analogies, a lot of nature. That's where my backgrounds all come from, is places that I've been in my life's journeys. This is an interesting looking tree. Somebody said it looks like like you were skinning a potato. This tree is from Brazil. I was in Brazil at the end of February. And so I love nature, love the analogies of that we can learn a lot from nature. So I use this example of hiking this mountain, and there are different stop and waypoints along this journey that we are all on, the financial mastery journey. And these are the stages that I've identified for clients. Is some people are starting in the debt is growing stage, and they're bleeding, and I just don't have enough money to. My lifestyle is greater than my income. Debt is growing. That's the chaos, the crisis mode. Stage two is living paycheck to paycheck. That's just being able to break even. Well, is living paycheck to paycheck really a goal? Yes, for every person that's in stage one where the debt is growing, they would love to just break even. So we start to work and get to help people to get there. Then we don't want to stay there for long. We want to move to the next one of living below our means, and we create some margin between your income and your expenses. And that margin is how we build the momentum with goals. Then we increase our pace and we finally achieve that financial freedom. So everybody's at one of these stages and we're working through it. And unfortunately, sometimes we are in one stage and we slide back down and we move forward and we slide back down. If you're familiar with the game Chutes and Ladders, sometimes you're climbing up the ladder and sometimes you're sliding back down the slide. But once you know how to manage your money, it's just a matter of time until you get where you want to go. Sometimes there's detours and we got to turn around and we got to reroute us, right? How often does the GPS say, "Oh, we got to find a new way. There was construction. We got to go around that way." So that's success. It's life is not a linear path. It's twists and turns, and we'll eventually get there. But this is our goal, to move from up that ladder and get to that final wealth and generosity at the very top of the level. And again, all of it is built on that accountability, holding ourselves accountable. That's going to be hard, or finding somebody to help us to hold us accountable. And that can be from coaches, it can be from family members, it can be accountability partners. But your success will increase the more accountability you incorporate into your progress. Well, as always, I always review last month's session because the point of this workshop is to work it, to apply it. So last month we talked about who is on your money team. We thought about a kind of the round table where you have all the different people sitting around a board of directors, or King Arthur with the Knights of the Round Table. You got all these different people around our table. Well, that's what's going on inside of me. I got a part of me that's the hero, a part of me that's the exile, a part of me that's the manager, a part of me that's the firefighter, and we explained those. And if you missed last session, go back and listen to the recording, and it'll give you more information. But what I want to know is, what did you try out? What did you apply? What did you do as a result of coming? And if you weren't here, there's still always something to celebrate. So think about your successes and wins that you have had over the past month. You can put it in the chat, or you can come off of mute and share it. But we want to celebrate you with you, because celebration is one of the greatest keys to success. It's part of the psychology of success. The more we celebrate, the more we repeat it, and that increases our progress. So what can we celebrate together this evening? So come off of mute, put it in the chat. What's gone well for you this month? Or what did you try out from our topic last month?
I paid off my car last month.
You paid the whole thing off?
Yes.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's a big win. What was it at the high, and how much did you pay off?
Oh God, at the high, I think my car was like 23,000. It was brand new at the time. It's a 24, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, and I was like the biggest part of it that helped pay it off was last summer, because I was working like crazy. Like I picked up so many odd end jobs, so that helped. And then I had a really large savings account with no purpose. And so I work with my coach and she was just saying like, let's take that or at least, a good sum of it and put it towards the car. So those two things combined helped a lot.
It's awesome. I
Mm.
love that, right? You're disciplined. You were hustling multiple jobs, 23,000 to zero. How long did it take you?
Um, so this is um like a little under 2 years.
Right. That's awesome. Everybody's on their own journey, and you've done it. You've achieved that flag at the top of the mountain. You got that stinking car loan off your back, and I love those principles. I hustled. I redirected some savings. I had a savings without a purpose, and my coach helped me see something I hadn't considered before. That's the point of accountability and getting an outside perspective to say, I'm going to press you on that. Let's consider something different. Let's give a purpose to that savings account. And you built the
Yeah,
savings account once. Now you paid off the card. Now you get to go back to rebuilding the savings account. It's still going to be there. You're just shuffling and moving things around for a better order of operations.
for
Nicole,
sure.
I'm so happy for you. And that's awesome. We've seen in the chat some congratulations and some cheers for you. So that's awesome. Cynthia shared in the chat, finishing up my master's in education. So a pay raise coming soon. So my new contract this coming on the new contract coming this school year. So congratulations. That's a significant accomplishment. I know having finished my own master's degree, I that was tough. Every class was like, "This is the one that's going to kill me. I'm going to quit. I can't make it." So I honor your desire for education and the endurance that you're exhibiting. So good job. That's awesome. Corinne says wasn't she wasn't here this last month, but just today got my second client scheduled. Okay, very awesome. That's awesome, Corinne. Congratulations. Coaching other people to pass on the information and the success that you have uh, have learned and built. You right. That's the best teacher is your own personal experience. Was this the lady at the car dealership? It was. That counts like a double win because she was hiding from you. She was scared to make the changes, but you kept at her, and that's awesome. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. All right. Any other successes and wins or any learnings from last month's topic that we can celebrate together? I'm going to put in the chat some links that will take you to different resources if you need them to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, or to leave us a 5-star Google review so other people know how we can help them share our site with other people. So, all right, let's dive into tonight's topic. And I'm going to try some new technology a little bit tonight. So I'm out of my comfort zone and I get to grow as well. So let me set this up here. All right, can you see that screen? Who are you becoming? You can see it. Thanks for the thumbs up. Okay. All right. So fun with technology. Technology is so quickly advancing. I got to catch up. So wanted to share this to me is a foundational topic. We often talk about nuts and bolts in the operations, like I got to save that $1,000. I got to pay off my car loan. I got to build a sinking fund. I had a client right before this that is trying to scramble and figure out how do I pay this $10,000 tax bill that I'm getting slapped with. And by the way, it's next week, so make sure you're prepared for your tax day. His was a little surprising, and we're now scrambling to cover this month, this year, and then better prepare for next year. So he's a brand new client and didn't get a chance to prepare as well as he could have. So some of those things we talk about are those action items we've got to do. There are things that we must do, but why do we do them is because of it helping us to become someone in the process. So tonight I want us to thinking about that. In all of our doing, who are you becoming? That's the real goal of financial growth. I was dealing with helping a client. She's up in Alaska, and we've been focusing for a long time trying to help her to get paid up, paying off her debt. And it's always interesting. My background again is I've got an MBA. I like the math and the strategy and the money. But before I got into business school, I thought I wanted to be a therapist, and so I was studying psychology. And so try to understand how the brain works and how our personal nature and human behavior gets in the way or facilitates or slows us down. And we really went deep into what does this debt represent, and what's holding. She wouldn't pay it off. She just kept holding on to it, and she'd have a fund. Kind of Nicole's perspective. I had a savings account that didn't have a purpose. I'm like, you got some debt over there. I know what to do with it. And it just was so reinforcing that it's not about the money. It's who we are. Who are we becoming through this process? It's never about the money. So that is the real goal of financial growth. So here's a quote from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn is, if you're familiar with the personal development world, he was an earlier influencer before that was a term. If you're familiar with Tony Robbins, world renowned coach, Jim Rohn was Tony Robbins's coach. So who coached Tony Robbins? Jim Rohn. So there's some amazing resources out there to listen and hear. And so I'm going to take some of my material tonight from Jim's quote. He said, here's an interesting thought. Have you ever thought about this? Set a goal to become a millionaire. Well, don't we want $1 million in our retirement account? Well, sure. But it's not about the money. He says, set a goal to become a millionaire for what it makes of you to achieve it. Do it for the skills you have to learn and the person you have to become. We're going to seek out hard things. I want to be a millionaire, not because of the money. It's never about the money. It's about who it will make me become. Who will I have to be to do that? What will I have to learn? What will I have to experience? Right, Nicole, we could spend a whole hour talking about your accomplishment. Who did you have to become in order for you to pay off that loan, that car loan? Paying it off, that's a check mark. That'll be long forgotten someday. But what hopefully will never be forgotten is who you have become in the process. He says, continuing, he says, a goal you can achieve without changing isn't a goal. It's a task. I can save $1,000. It's just a task. Check the box. I don't have to be any different. So we want a goal that will make us change. Set it high enough that it demands your growth. The millionaire group goal isn't about the money, it's about who you become. So let's pause there and let those thoughts, those quotes sink in. Again, this is the mentor of Tony Robbins, and this is maybe where Tony got some of his stuff from, his mindset. What does it spark in you, in your heart, and in your mind as you see those two quotes about being a millionaire? Not about the money, it's about who you are becoming. Make it high enough that it makes you change and it demands your growth. What do you think of, how do you react to that?
It makes me think about like what kind of sacrifices do you have to consider?
Okay. Yeah, to get what I want, I might have to give up some things that I like. I like donuts, but I want it to be healthy. So I might have to I got to make a choice. Donuts or being healthy. Be a millionaire or have the lifestyle. Yeah, I'd have to give up some things. Good. Thank you, Nicole. Other thoughts or reactions to those quotes? We'll go back to the previous one just so you can see them both. Feel free to come off mute or put it in the chat. Any thoughts or reactions to that? Have you thought
Ryan,
about that?
I
Yes,
was
Amber.
I was thinking about that, and sometimes we are so involved with just getting through life that the goal is just to get through the next day and to set higher goals or different goals, goals that force us out of our comfort zone, that force us to do more, sometimes that can be overwhelming.
I can understand. Sometimes we're racing and we're pushing and we're climbing that mountain. Another, I can get this work in my here. Look at this other picture.
Thinking chiseling away to define your character.
Yeah, that's a good way, right? I'm that rough stone that I'm chiseling away. I think it was a quote from Michelangelo about David, right? If you're familiar with that sculpture, the David, where it starts just a big block of rock, and he chiseled it away. And I think the quote was, "I just removed all of the parts that weren't David." So it's this big rough stone, and he's chopping that part's not David. That's not David, right? That's what you're doing. You're chiseling away your own character. What am I becoming? And then Amber says, right, to climb in this mountain, sometimes I'm at the bottom, I'm just trying to survive the day. Sometimes that is the goal. Survive. Especially if you're in that debt is growing stage, you're in that survival mode, living paycheck to paycheck. I really hope I can make it to the end of the month. And sometimes that's enough. So sometimes you want to run the marathon and beat a world record. Sometimes it's I just am glad to get out of bed today. So it's being patient with ourselves, but it's about pushing myself, whatever that means. Right? For some people, it is a marathon. For some people, it's I have always struggled with my own health. Right? Money I can do. Ma'am, don't talk to me about my health. I'm not a good example, but I set a goal for health, and I literally had to start with I hope I can jog to the stop sign. That's where I started. Like, okay, just jog to this. Can I get out the door? Can I jog to the stop sign without dying? And I thought I was going to die some of those days, but it got better. Now I got to the stop sign and back. I got to the down to the street, and I got to the tree, and I got back, and I didn't die. And after a time, I finally hit like 4 miles one day. I was like, "That's you would if you told me that a couple months ago, I would have thought you're crazy because I can't get to the stop sign." So yes, some days it's survival. So whatever you are, we're going to push ourselves a little bit more because of who it's going to help us become and chisel away. What parts of us of ourselves are we going to chisel away? Let me show this. Um, you all know Steve Harvey, Family Feud. It's a comedian. But I believe the sound is on, so give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. But watch what he has to say.
Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself. Get out here and get about it.
Right. And that again, that is relative to your capacity. What are you capable of doing? Right? It might be just put some pressure on yourself. I'm gonna make it to the stop sign. I'm gonna save $20 this week. For some people, it might be saving $200 this week. I might be running a marathon. Everybody's different, but put some pressure on yourself because success is not an easy procedure, he says. Right? We've got to get out of our comfort zone. Not very many great things happen in our comfort zone. So we got to grow and we push. So here's some things to think about as we are growing and as we are becoming. These are 5 pillars of financial success. Every pillar shapes who you are becoming. In my approach to coaching, it's a holistic thing. It's not just money and it's not just math. And here's a budget and have a nice day. It's so much more than that, right? It starts with our mindset, those beliefs that drive that our behavior. Do we have a plan, a system before the pressure, right? Because preparation, an ounce of preparation of an ounce of prep. What is it? An ounce of preparation is better than a pound of cure. It sounds like I'm killing that quote, but you get the point. Is if I have a plan, if you are prepared, you shall not fear. Right? Get the plan before the pressure hits. We need to build systems, habits that run without willpower. If your success is based on your willpower and your mood, that's not a great chance of success because our mood is very unstable. Accountability. You can't see your own blind spots. You got to find somebody that says, hey, maybe you should reconsider what you're going to do with that savings account. Or, hey, what if you get another job? Or, hey, what about this other thing? Maybe I'm holding back. I think I'm running. Maybe I'm just really walking and I could be doing more. That's what the coach is there to help me to push. And the purpose. And I think it was Cynthia put in the chat remembering the why behind this whole journey. That's so critical, and that's that last item on the pillar is the purpose, the why that carries you through. If you lose momentum, if you flounder, it's often because you have lost emotional connection to your why, and you've forgotten why are we paying off this loan, right? Nicole, 2 years. That's a lot of stamina to pay off a car loan. You most likely had to connect to that why several times. And sometimes the why changes over time. The why was good enough last month, but man, I'm in survival mode. So my why just changed. Okay. Work with it. Each pillar shapes the person that you are becoming, not just the account that you are building. And here's the 6 financial stages that we talked about, right? Again, the crisis, the bottom of the survival mode, right? Bills exceed income, survival first. That's the goal. Every one of you is going to be in somewhere. So identify for yourself. Again, we want this interactive, but you can put yourself on the map. You right. If I look at the mall map, it says you are here, right? Where are you? So am I in crisis? Are my bills exceeding my income? I've got to survive first. Stage 2 is survival, right? There I'm treading water. I'm starting to try to build the buffer. Stage 3 is the stabilization phase, and that is the margin exists. Right now, I'm starting to I got a positive number between my income and my expenses. Now we need to start building our systems. Then I get into stage 4, which is growth. The debt is disappearing, it's going away, and I start building that asset column. The loans are gone. Now the savings starts to grow. I get into stage 5 of security, investing, feeling protected. I'm optimizing my strategies, my bank accounts. And then finally, stage 6 is the legacy. I'm free to live, give, and lead others, turn around and pay it forward. Right. As Corinne has demonstrated, I'm doing pretty well. I'm going to go coach other people. And that can be in so many different areas, finances or any other area of your life that you say, you know what, I've learned a thing or two in my life. And I want to give back and help those that are in the journey behind me. So can you all kind of identify and put your finger on the map and say, I think I'm in stage, and you can kind of see where you are? Hopefully, is that big enough? Can you see? Hopefully, or maybe see the screen. Okay. So again, once you know where you are, then you can set stage specific goals and and goals at stage 5 will kill you in stage 1. If you're in stage 1, don't set any stage 5 kind of goals. Investing and optimize, like we're in survival mode. Okay. So we that's what coaching is about, is we can help you, the coaches can help you to see what is the stage appropriate goal for you at where you are at. And as I mentioned earlier, those 10 financial steps, right, that are financial order of operation. Why do we do them? Each step builds on the last. Each step changes you. That's why they're there. You don't just complete these steps, you become the kind of person who does. That's what happens when you get the chutes and ladder and you slide back down. If you have become someone in the process, you'll get back there. You can take away, look at Job, right? Take away all of his resources, he got back. He grew back. He was better than before. If you take a self-made millionaire and take away all their resources, where are they going to be in 5 years? Probably a millionaire again. Why? Because they know how to live it. They know how to do it again. So whatever happens in our life, we are not dependent on our circumstances. We have become something. I have met people that were in Dave Ramsey's baby step 7, they were in the live and give like nobody else, and they didn't know what to do because they had done a lot of things, but they hadn't become anyone in the process. So that when they finally got there and there wasn't any more to-dos, it was like, I have no idea what to do. I don't know why I built all this wealth. Hmm. So I don't want that to happen to you. We want to become something in the process. And again, those steps 1 through 5 we saw earlier, we are building that foundation. Each step shapes who you are becoming. So we're going to create and live a budget. There's a review that helps you become intentional. Who am I? Who did I become by creating and living a budget? I'm now intentional. What did I become when I optimized my bank accounts? I became organized. What did I become when I managed my risk? I became responsible. When I saved to cover my highest deductible, I became prepared. When I paid off all of my non-mortgage debt, I became free. Let that one sink in. Nicole, I'm sure you're feeling a little more free than you were a couple of months ago or 2 years ago. A little bit, a little bit, a lot. And that builds that momentum. You've proved it, right? So whatever happens, I don't know if that was your last debt or just the first one, but whatever, not the last one. All right, we're on to the next one. We're climbing another mountain. Make
Now I
that
got
momentum.
credit cards and then student loans.
All right, all right. We got some journey to go. But you look back and you say, look what I did. I did the car. I can take on those credit cards. Why? Because of who I am, who I have become. I'm a fighter, I'm a survivor, and I am I am becoming free. On step 6, who am I becoming when I save that emergency fund? I have become secure. On investing, I have become a builder. When you help pay for your kids' college, you become a legacy. When you pay off your house, you become untouchable. And when you live and give and you are that financially freedom, you become who you were meant to become. So again, hopefully you can see what step you're on, what stage you're in, and you start to maybe see a little bit different perspective on your identity, on who we are. Often our identity is what we do. Right? I'm a teacher, I'm a plumber, I'm a truck driver, I'm a student, I'm a whatever, right? No, that's just what you do currently. That's not who you are. Who are you? Those things that you are becoming in the process. Any thoughts, comments, anything you want to share that you're thinking, what's going through your heart? Again, we wanted this to be interactive in a workshop and not just a lecture from me. Who are you becoming? Maybe that's a new thought for some. Do you feel some of those becoming secure, becoming a builder? Did you ever think of it that way? That's why I'm investing, is because I'm a builder. Why am I managing my risks? Because I am responsible. Why am I getting out of debt? I want to be free. Any thoughts?
Brian, sometimes I think we get so caught up in the final goal that we don't think about what we're gaining as we go. You know, the whole thing about enjoy the journey. But really, this is nice because we are gaining something each step in the journey rather than, oh, I got through step 1, I got through step 2, I got through step 3. Focus more on how it is changing us for the better.
I love that quote. Enjoying the journey. It's a long journey. I remember as a kid, those long car drives. We didn't have electronics to keep us busy. It was a different, very boring car trip, right? It's about enjoying that trip and enjoying the view along the way. Love it.
I
Thank you for
think
sharing that, Emma. Brent.
I've gotten to where I'm at 9. I'm to the point all I have left is to pay off my home, but I'm struggling, especially since I just moved in my home in November, in that I really want to not double up on payments or something like that because I want to make my home first. So I have this struggle in my mind going, well, maybe you shouldn't do as much yet, or scale back and pay off the debt more. And so I'm struggling back and forth in my mind right now.
It's very normal. Thank you for sharing that, being vulnerable. I'm sure everyone can identify with that. There's a lot of shoulds in our head. Well, I should live on beans and rice, and so I can pay this thing off as fast as possible. But I shouldn't I also enjoy my life? And there's a balance, right? Because there can be too much enjoying. I got some clients that are enjoying their life too much and they can't afford it. And there's some that need to enjoy it more, right? Those ones that get to baby step 8 and they don't know what to do. It's like, okay, you need to learn how to spend. You need to learn how to to leave that legacy, to give back and lead and help and give. So yeah, it's a balance, and every month it's seeking that balance.
You know what I was going to say?
Yeah.
So, last summer, or I don't even know, maybe even a few summers ago at this point. So I had paid off all my credit cards. And what's crazy is that because I was just talking to my coach about this. So then I was like, okay, well, I want to pay off my car now. So I was taking all of my extra money from my paycheck and putting it towards paying off my car. And then I would use my credit cards for like gas and groceries and right? So I paid off my car now, and that's great. But now I have to repay off my credit card. So like when you're saying like, who are you becoming? I feel like it's kind of like, how she was saying where we get so focused on the goal. It's like, yeah, I learned how to hustle, but also it makes me think like, what habits did I either learn or what habits did I break? You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm back kind of where I started. So it's like I didn't really focus on like learning new behaviors, is how I'm kind of reading the situation.
That's healthy. That's very mature, Nicole. Thank you. Yeah, I did some stuff, but I maybe now looking back, I live and learn, right? I was paying off my car loan and I built some credit card debt along the way because I was so focused over here that I got this thing snuck up on me over here. It's interesting how our brain works. It reminds me of a client literally this morning, one of my business clients. They're a seasonal business, so in the winter their income just goes to zero. And then in the spring and summer it's great. But they keep paying, they have to pay themselves, right? The owners to live. And his the CPA was telling him like you got to keep paying yourself, so you're gonna have to get a loan to pay yourself. He's like, no, I would never get a loan to pay payroll. Why? That's crazy. No, like why would I ever do a loan over there? So he got a loan to expand his business. Either way, it's debt. You're debt free over here, so you got debt over there. We convince ourselves of these crazy acrobatic contortionist movements to like, okay, let's step back and see the forest for the trees. Who am I becoming? Thank you for that share, Nicole. That's awesome. Amber, you came off of mute. What were you going to share?
I was just thinking about what Nicole said. It reminds me of everyone's so happy about losing weight with weight loss medicine now. But if they stop the medicine, if they haven't incorporated good habits into their life, they gain it back.
Yeah,
And like what Nicole said, she paid off her car at the same time she was running up more credit card debt. So she wasn't, and Nicole, please don't take this wrong, but it makes me think sometimes we're so focused on the goal that we're not learning the lesson we need to learn to do it the right way so that we get what we want at the end. And that's really an important lesson for me. Nicole, thank you for sharing that because that is challenging. That's really a challenging thing to be goal focused, but at the same time also build good habits and do the right things in all of the aspects so that you don't end up back in the same situation.
awesome. And I love it. That's the beautiful thing of the group experience. This community is we learn and we teach and we grow together. Nicole says 1,000% correct. Yeah, and we learn from each other. So thank you. Right? It's not about the money. It was never about the money. Financial growth is character development. Right? Every hard budget conversation makes you more disciplined. Every debt that you pay off makes you more courageous. $23,000 of courage there, Nicole. Good job. Every sacrifice makes you more intentional. Every stage climbed makes you more capable, and every dollar given makes you more generous. Right? The money is the evidence. The person is the point. So, which of these pillars, right back to those 5 pillars that we've talked about? Again, I want I want you to experience something, to feel something, to have an awakening in this experience. So, think back to those 5 pillars. And this is your honest assessment part. This is the work of the workshop is to think about where is my gap? Where is which pillar is a little shaky and I need to shore it up? So maybe it's the mindset. Do you really believe this is possible for you? Do you believe you can be debt free? Do you believe you can retire one day? Do you believe you can pay your house off? Because you can do a lot of action with no faith, with no belief, right? And it's just empty action. Do you believe that you can do this? Plan. Do you know that your next 3 steps? Maybe that's my weakness, is I know what to do, but I don't know where I'm going. Systems, right? Maybe that's my weak pillar. Does your plan run without motivation? Is it a mood? Do I budget based on my mood? Can I get up when it's hard? Do I keep pushing forward when I don't feel like it? Accountability. Who is in your financial corner? It's just me. Ooh, that's going to be dangerous because I don't feel like doing it. All in favor say aye, and there's nobody vote against. Like, no, come on, we can do this. Don't give up. Purpose. Is your why emotionally true? Again, you might need to change and deepen your why. If you don't feel it, you have a surface level why. I'll do this with my clients as we go deep, like 5 layers deep. Why do you want to be at debt free? Because I hate interest. Like, why do you hate interest? Because of the, and you go you ask yourself 5 levels of why this, why this, why this, why this. Why'd you pay off the car loan? Hmm. And if you go deep enough, I know when I've hit it because the person gets an emotional response. And it's not just a surface level because Dave told me to. It's like, no, because now I'm free. Ooh, that's emotionally true. Harness that. The weakest pillar limits the strength of all the others. Find it and work it. It's kind of the weakest link in the chain, right? The chain is only as strong as the weakest link. So find which one you're in, and that's your homework this month. Anybody want to share which of the pillars? You don't have to specifically say what the weakness is, or can you at least identify which pillar do I need to focus on this month?
Do mindset and systems kind of go like hand in hand a little bit?
They can, right? They can lead it. They're all interconnected. But the mindset, you can have a great system. I've done assessments with couples and individuals and say, how much confidence do you have in this? And then rate yourself. How much peace do you have? And they might be really high confidence and really low peace. Aren't those supposed to go together? Not necessarily. Because you can have a great system. You could put all of your bills on autopilot and everything. I'm very responsible and everything gets paid at once. But my mindset is, I still don't know what I'm doing with my money, right? We talk ourselves out of things. I don't think this is really going to work. Like, that's interesting. That's more of an emotion, kind of your belief. I'm never going to get out of debt, but I got a great system. It's like, okay, we got to work on the mindset. You can do this, right? I've done this exercise with people is to count your thoughts during the day. Are they how many positive and how many negative thoughts have you had? What's your ratio of good to negative? Like I beat myself up in my mind. Like, ooh, the reason you're not paying your debt is because of a mindset. The system would be like the debt snowball. It works. Why aren't you doing it? Because I don't believe it. Ah, that's a mindset problem. Or I know I'm going to be successful. I've been drinking the Kool-Aid and I totally can do this, but I have no systems. Okay. We need them both. Does that help, Nicole? That's a good question. They are connected. They're all connected. So can you see which one you need to, can you honestly look at that, look at yourself in the mirror here and say, you know what, I do need a little bit more accountability, or I do need a little bit more purpose. Hopefully you can identify where you are on the map. And
I
again,
would think it would.
yeah, Kim.
I think it would starts with the mindset, right? It's the have the mindset to before you can put you can have a system. I think you're saying you can have a system, but if you don't know, you have to have the mindset to be able to do the system. What's the first step? Okay, what is
Right.
your first step? As I reach back and talk to hear about former coworkers from as a retired federal employee, and you don't want to be put in the position where they're forcing you out, which they are. They're forcing these people out, but a lot of these people are not ready because their mindset is not there to move out. They don't have a system in place, so they pushing them out the poor people. They pushing them out the door but the mindset is just not. They weren't ready. A lot of my colleagues, even when I left, retired last year, a lot of these people weren't ready, financially ready to move. So
I'm
it
glad you,
starts there.
yeah, and I'm glad you bring that point up, Kim, because I agree with that personally, that it all starts in your mind. Your thoughts drive your emotions, drive your actions, drive your results. It
Mm-hmm.
starts in your mind. If you want some good books, go read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill or
Mm-hmm.
As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Both of those talk about it starts in your head,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's As a Man Thinketh, Think and Grow Rich. It's about your thoughts. The game is lost before you ever get on the field because of what's going on in your head. So get your head in the game. That's that, like, yes, I totally agree with that, Kim, his mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that your stage is, yeah, Corinne, what were you going to say?
I think I need to work on my purpose.
Hey, love that.
I I kind of reached the epitome of my purpose this past winter, so I'm like, I need a new why to motivate me.
That's awesome. I got my house. Your whole focus over months of working together. Yeah, it's been get the house, get the house, get the house. Good job, you're here. Now what? Yikes. Right? It's called goal stacking. That's why there's 10 steps, is there's always a step behind it. Well, what happens if I get to step 10? You need another step 11. It's goal stacking because when you hit that goal, if you don't know the next one, you'll flounder. Listen to this example. I love these comments because this is totally off script. Sir Edmund Hillary, he was the first one to climb Mount Everest, right? Significant accomplishment on the top of the world, the highest peak. Nobody had made this before, right? Sir Edmund Hillary is at the top of Mount Everest. And what does he do? He's up there, imagining, like, you're looking at what a beautiful view. And he sees another mountain off in the distance. It is lower than the mountain he is on. And he is already looking, look at that mountain. I think if I took it up on the north face, I could get it, then I could cross over here. And he's planning a route to climb his next mountain. He's on Everest. Isn't he dumb? You can't get any higher. It's not about getting higher. It's just continuing the journey. It's a goal stacking experience. I got my house. Good. What's next? I don't know. Is there life after baby step 7? Is there life after step 8? Is there life after getting my house? You betcha. You got to find it. You got to tap into that because there is so much more things for you to do. And I could spend an entire hour on all of the examples. Colonel Sanders, right? Kentucky Fried Chicken. He didn't start that until he was like 60. I don't know what. He couldn't live on Social Security, so he started KFC. Grandma Moses was a painter. She painted like 75 pieces of art after her 90-year-old birthday, right? She's like, there's lots to do left in life.
Yeah.
So want to get through this because I could talk all night long. Sorry. Great comments. I love your comments. Thank you for your participation. Right? Your stage is not your identity. It's just a temporarily where you are. Every stage is temporary. Every stage is preparation for the next version of you. If you're on stage 1 and 2, that's survival and crisis and survival mode. You learn to survive with intention. If you're in stage 3, you learn to build systems and trust yourself. If you're in stage 4, you learn what financial freedom actually feels like. If you're in stages 5 and 6, security and legacy, then you become who you were always capable of becoming. Right? Don't judge yourself just where you are temporarily. It's not a forever. The person you become, that's the permanent. All right, so here is your homework. Right? This is all about action. So we're going to set a goal that demands change. We are going to become something this month. Find that why. Right? Build a system. Build that mindset. Not a task that you can check off without growing. A goal that requires you to become someone different to achieve it. Right? Name the person you need to become. This is an interesting one. What belief, habit, or behavior has to change? Write it down tonight. Put it somewhere you see every day. Put it on the fridge. Put it on the bathroom mirror. What? Name the person you need to become. I need to become. Fill in the blank. You take one uncomfortable action this week, right? Again, the growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. I love the quote that well-behaved women never made history. You heard that? Well-behaved women never make history. I don't remember who said that. All right, we're going to do something uncomfortable. We're going to get out of our comfort zone. Not someday, this week. The action that scares you a little is usually the right one. What I heard recently was the magic you desire is in the work that you're avoiding. Dang it. Ugh. So we're going to pick something a little uncomfortable, a little step out of your comfort zone. Doesn't have to be very far, right? That's the you get into the panic zone. But we want to take some uncomfortable action. So here's your homework. Complete the sentence before you go to sleep tonight. This month, I will become someone who, fill in the blank. I will know it's working when, fill in the blank. This month, I will become someone who finds their why. This month, I will become someone who tackles that next dang credit card. I will know it's working when I see the balance go down. I know it's working when I feel inspired by my goal. This month I will become someone who, and it doesn't have to be about money, right? It's never about the money. It's who you're becoming. It could be health, it could be mindset, it could be spirituality, it could be family, relationships, it could be emotions, right? Money affects 5 different areas of our life. Our finances, obviously, physical, spiritual, emotional, and relational. So you can set a goal on any one of those. I will become someone who is more patient. I will know that when, and fill in the blank. When my kids come and tell me about their day without running away when I come home. Right? It was whatever is most meaningful to you. Anybody want to share a goal or a challenge that they want to set? Anybody want, when you share it, then that increases the accountability and your chances of success go up. So if anybody would like to share with our group what you're going to be working
I was
on.
gonna say this month I am becoming someone who reads because I'm a slow reader by nature. Like I've been reading Rich Dad Poor Dad for like 5 months, and I
Yeah,
literally have 2 chapters left. So I will know it's working when I finish these 2 chapters.
there it is. You finished it. I will become someone who reads. I will know it's working when I finish those last 2 chapters. Get her done. Nice. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. Any other shares or any other goals that you're working on this month? Yeah, Amber.
So I'm in training right now for American Airlines. So this month, I'm going to become a flight attendant and I'll know it's working when I graduate.
There you go. The great goal. All right. That's awesome. Very good. Congratulations. That'll be exciting. Other goals, anybody want to share?
For me, I'm looking at paying off, let's see, a goal this month. I would like to pay off another credit card because I did in February. I paid off a credit card. So I would like to do another one this month. Pay off another
Awesome.
credit card. Yeah.
Love it. I will become
Mm-hmm.
someone who gets out of debt, who increases their freedom. How do I know it's working? When that dang credit card is zero balance. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Do your best. Run your fastest race. You may not. Some people are like, I can't get that done, and that goal is not going to get done in this month. I might take 2 years to pay off a car. That's okay. This month I can
Mm-hmm.
do this much, and I'm going to run my race. And every month I'm going to best my best, and every month's a different race. So, April this month, what are you going to do? Let's run our best race. Okay, remember, this mountain that we're climbing is climbable. It's not impossible. You are stronger than the mountain. It might feel like Everest. It might be your personal Everest, but you can get there. And when you're at the top, look to the next mountain and see which one you can climb, right? The goal isn't the summit, it's who you become on the way up. So good luck this month. I'm excited to hear your successes. Come next month in the group session again. What the link that brought you here is you can enroll in the next month in our May session as well.
Mm-hmm.
There was one final video that I wanted to share. I'll put it in. I don't have time to do it live. It's about 9 minutes. So before you go to bed, go watch that video. This is a Jim Rohn video. I think it was a generated one. So I'm as he said things, I'm like that was the Wayne Dyer quote. That one was a so I think it was the motivation, the person who put the video together. It's in Jim's voice, and I think it's AI. But anyway, it's a good one to get you motivated. It's longer than the Steve Harvey one that we watched,
Mm-hmm.
but it talks about a lot of the goals and becoming in a lot of different areas. So yeah, get that link in the chat. If you open up the chat, there's a Facebook reel about 9 minutes long to help give you some boost and some motivation. Again, don't go to bed tonight until you have that goal set. I want to become a person who, and I'll know I'll have achieved it when. And let's work on it this month. Let's become amazing this month. You already are amazing. You showed up, you're here, you're engaged, you're trying. That's a win. So I honor your success, your sacrifice, and all that you're doing. I'm grateful to be a part of this journey. I would love to help more people along this journey. So if you have friends and family and neighbors and coworkers, there's an opportunity to help them. And if I can help them in their paths, I would love to meet them and to serve them as well. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Great
Mm-hmm.
participation this evening.
Mm-hmm.
And I look
Mm-hmm.
forward to seeing you all next month. Again, sign up for in that link again, same place where you signed up for tonight. You can get to our next month, and I look forward to hearing all your successes over the next month. Have a wonderful evening. Again, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.